How do there, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV, where it's World Darts Championship chat. Gerwyn Price, the world #1 defending world champion, has ended his run in the quarterfinals with defeat to Michael Smith. But as you see on the thumbnail, has put out a post on his social media saying cheats. That is Gerwyn Price versus the crowd. Now, whenever I make a video like this, what I like to do is I just like to give you lots of different opinions from lots of different angles and share with you all the information that's out there in one resource, which is here. I just pull it all together and give you all the information and data that you need so that you can make your decision. That is what I'm going to do again here. So again, I'm going to try and keep this sort of as impartial as I possibly can. Now, first thing I noticed, George Noble was on the stage last night, refereeing this game. I haven't seen George Noble referee a game for a little while. It's only been Kurt Bevins and Russ Bray. Now, my initial thought here was when I saw George Noble was on there to try and keep a little bit of order. George Noble's one of the most respected referees within the players, and obviously we've seen on things like Euro tours and things like that, he's been known to pick people out the crowd if need be. I think maybe George Noble was doing this game. Maybe, just maybe, they said to Gerwyn, if you've got a problem, make sure you speak to George Noble about this. Now, why would Gerwyn have a problem? Well, actually, when I typed in to look for this, Gerwyn Price asked for fan to be ejected, so I could show you that photo of George Noble and Gerwyn Price stood pointing at people. We saw this just from a couple of days ago in the media, how Sky Sports had to mute the mics due to the chants that was directed towards Gerwyn Price that went beyond the boos and moved into, well, insulting and beyond the normal chants. But with that, again, as you may know, you may see me in the groups on social media, on Twitter, things like that. I get asked a lot of questions, I see a lot of chat. People saying the PDC aren't doing enough and the PDC should do more. Could they do more though? Is there more you can do against that many people? You know, you can't kick the whole crowd out. You certainly run the risk of, if you try and interject into a mass audience, you know, when we've got that faceless side of things, when people are in a crowd and it's faceless, they act differently. Darren Brown did a feature on this exact thing. When you put people in a crowd or you put them wearing a mask, they make decisions that, quite frankly, could ruin people's lives. They trash someone's home. Watch that feature if you haven't done so already. Now, could more be done? Not in the instant. I don't believe you should be tackling this head on. I think it could cause more problems. However, there are long-term things you can put into place. Manchester United had the similar sort of problem with the Romelu Lukaku Belgian scoring genius song. But Romelu Lukaku did not like the song. You'll see here in the things, some people have done video comments on it saying it's hilarious. Other people have done it calling it racist. Now, I think that could there be part of the problem. Some people find something funny, some people find it offensive, and it's finding that balance. Now, what Man United did, Man United used the stadium cameras and said anyone who instigates that song will be banned. So they used the cameras within the stadium to get the instigators. Now, they didn't tackle it head on there and then, but what it did mean is they went, that person bought a ticket for row 4, seat 2. They were the person who started the song. This is their name and address. Bosh. Deterrent for future things. And what they did is the song stopped. It stopped. Now, could the PDC do something like this? Possibly. I think it'd be a little bit trickier. This is why. Like I said, I'll give you the for and against on most things, and you can make decisions based on the data I share. Now, Man United have a purpose-built stadium that is the same 365 days a year. So if I put a camera right there, on Monday that camera is going to be there, Tuesday that camera is there, Saturday it's there, the Saturday after it's there, and so on and so on and so on. The PDC use different arenas, different venues, different stage sets, different layouts, different formats worldwide. Is it possible to do camera installation with these setups? Would then having camera installation reduce capacity? Because then you'd probably have to have, or could you put the cameras in the roof? But then can you see where the instigation comes from? It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. You see my dilemma here straight away with the for and against arguments. Again, for and against arguments there. We've got a message out how we can protect Gerwyn Price. Is there also an argument that we need to protect Gerwyn Price from Gerwyn Price? Gerwyn Price did respond, and this was the video that Jack Langston, the darts referee, did that night after those chants, going online and posting a response to that. Now, yeah, he's entitled to response. Everyone's entitled to response in these situations, but sometimes it's the best response, not silence. Gerwyn Price on stage, cheering, shouting, cheering, all that sort of stuff. Absolutely agree that he should be doing that, and he's not the only player that does that. How many other players do? Michael van Gerwen, massive behind the roar and the cheer, and players that are coming to our. And I want to see that. As a darts fan, I do not want to see people just walking around on stage. I want to see what it means to the player. Show me that you care. If you don't look like you care on the stage, why do I care in the crowd watching you on the stage? Is the debate. Show your emotions. I want to see what it means to you. If you hit a 180 and it means something to you, I want to see that it means something to you. How boring would every other sport in the world be? Goal! Yeah, let's get the ball. Let's just crack on, shall we? Lads, keep the noise down, will you? It's only a goal. Chill out. We score every week. You know, it wouldn't be the same. So yeah, absolutely I think he should be doing that. But should he then take to social media and respond to that? Especially if it's been muted and that there are trying to put things into place, that's where I'd put that as a no. When we talk about the crowd, though, there's been a lot of conversation about the crowd and about, you know, the boisterous nature of it and the songs, people saying their football songs and all these different types of things. Now, there is that argument, which is quite right and quite fair, to say they have paid their money and they should be able to cheer and boo and do what they want for the player they want and the player they want to support or don't want to support, which is an absolute fair and valid argument. They're the ones that are paid to be there. They're the ones that can sing and chant within reason for who they want and what they want. One thing I don't like too much at the moment with a lot of the chat that's going on is people going, these aren't darts fans. Well, where are the darts fans? Are the darts fans sat at home watching it on the telly, not supporting the event, not supporting the players, and not supporting the darts system, which then allows other people to then take these positions? That's another for and against argument. I know this for a fact. I went to the World Match Play this past year. I did the fan interaction section for the darts show at the Premier League. Some of the people I'd approach and go, are you interested in doing a darts quiz? The response was, I know nothing about darts, mate. Going to the darts now is part of going for the atmosphere and going for the environment. And, you know, I know a lot of people who buy tickets for the World Championships who don't know who dart players are. Look at some of these interaction features that they do on the PDC, where they go, can you name these players? And they'll show a picture of Nathan Aspinall, and they'll go, and they haven't got a clue who someone like Nathan Aspinall is, you know, PDC major winner. So yeah, there is that element of these people don't know, but the other side is these people are paying to go. And that is why now we have a £15 million tour. So is this now just a case of this is modern darts, this is new darts? Because actually, if we didn't have these people, would we have a situation we had before where we've now lost the BDO? We lost Lakeside. Yes, that's come back under the WDF banner, but obviously it's come back under a much reduced capacity, much reduced prize money. Look what happened to Wayne Warren. That was because we didn't have the crowds over at that side. Yes, it was a nicer watch on the eye, and there was a lot more order, but the prize money was affected. I believe that would exactly be the same situation here if we didn't have casuals. Is the darts audience big enough to not invite the casuals in? For and against argument again. Does this, though, these reactions, these crowds, does this now put off the traditional darts fan? Would you not go to the World Championships now based on the fact you don't want to be involved in that atmosphere and that environment? Does it put you off? Or are you one who goes, actually I want to be involved in that, that looks electric, I wouldn't mind going to that? So maybe we're actually dwindling, you know, like I say, the darts fan who would be more supportive, a bit more of a Blackpool sort of crowd. Maybe they're not going as such to the World Championships and it's something that they actually avoid. Now, I mentioned this on a live stream. I don't think this booing of Gerwyn Price is because they don't like Gerwyn Price. I think it's because it's the thing to do. I think it's his personality, or I think that's how people perceive his personality. I think people go to the darts and go, oh yes, Gerwyn Price, we've got to boo him. I think it's almost implanted with the people that watch the darts that that's the thing to do. Now, another thing I think, why we're seeing this coming in a lot in other games, because before it was just Gerwyn Price, now we're seeing it in a lot of other games, whistling, jeering, chanting, trying to put players off when they're throwing for things. I think it's because now the crowd are starting to feel that they're trying to influence a game. There's an advert a long time ago where a mobile phone went off at a snooker game, and the person was like, hee 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 hee, because he was sat and he was trying to put off the person that was doing the shot because he had a bet on them at home or something like that. That was the advert that was on the telly. It was a bookies advert. I feel that might be what's happening here. I feel that players or the fans aren't doing it because they don't like the person on stage. They can't possibly not like the person on stage. Alan Suter got booed. Steve Beaton got booed. I think now it's a case that there's been a lot made about it, about people influencing games, like when Fallon was winning, for example. And now with Gerwyn Price, with this latest comment, I don't think it's going to help the situation, which is my only opinion I'm going to put really into this, that I don't think it's helped the situation, because I think people do it because they're trying to influence the game. And I think the commentators are making it worse when they're like, let the players play, which means by doing that, we're not letting the players play, so we're getting an influence on this game. So again, it's putting too much power into the audience, and I think that could be the problem, that we're empowering the audience and giving them a voice over the result, or making them think they've got a voice over the result. So all they're going to do is keep growing and growing and growing, expanding and expanding it until they can find that level that influences the result. Because we can't kick everyone out. My final thoughts. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because at the moment I feel we're in a backwards and forwards, and we need to break that pattern. I think it's something that can easily be resolved. Obviously, look at Mervyn King. People used to boo Mervyn King at the sight of Mervyn King, and now he's getting cheered out the Alexandra Palace. It's easily something. Peter Manley. People used to hate Peter Manley. He starts walking on to Amarillo, and all of a sudden everyone loves Peter Manley. You know, it's not something that's unresolvable in terms of this being a long-term future, but I think the back and forwards needs to stop. I think that would be the first point of call with it. I think maybe something could be introduced like the Manchester United thing. I don't know exactly what, I don't have the answers, but something along the lines of the Man United thing where we can pick out ringleaders, instigators to things that go too far, like it did the other night when the cameras had to, or the microphones had to be muted. I think maybe looking on the player side as well, you know, we can't just say this is an issue on the crowd side, you've got to deal with this the way we want you to deal with this. We can't tell you what to do as such. I think on the player side, maybe a bit of media training or some sort of, you know, training, you know, working within the public eye, some of those sort of different types of things. I think maybe a good way to go, you know, to upskill the players in dealing with these sort of situations, because rightly or wrongly, this is the evolving game. It's not something new. It's been coming for a while. I think it's going to be in for a while. It's certainly been in Europe, you know, when you go to like Germany, whenever there's a German player sort of on stage, this is sort of the atmosphere you get over there. So I just see this is going to be like the evolution of how it goes throughout the world. Hard because I've got to put a for and against argument to points that I think people are going to be discussing about. If you've got an argument either for or against, do put it in the comment section below. It'll be interesting to come and have a chat. I'll be in there having a chat with you guys myself, and I'm sure everyone else who watches this video will be interested in discussing your points with you as well in the comment section below, because I think this one's going to divide opinion. I think some people will be for it, going, look at all the investment and the money and the growth of darts that we're going to get from having this electric atmosphere that broadcasters are going to watch and go, wow, I want that on my channel. Against people that want a little bit more respectful to the darts. Actually watching the games, for example, would be a good start. Like I say, in the comment section below, guys. I'll catch you soon for some more Edgar TV.